Aloha, this is Skye, your Soulful Progressive with FNN-Feminist News Network. That feminist news, that's right for you. Welcome to Skye in the Avapui room, giving you that soulful news you need. Yes, indeed. And if you haven't liked or subscribed and got that soulful news, that soulful way, you better get it today on YouTube. I know that's right. Now, tell your friends this is important. In Hawaii, the military coronavirus counts aren't being counted. Why? Because I called all our major TV stations to ask if they're counting them, if they're reporting them. And each one of them said no. So our coronavirus numbers should and probably are greater, but the bases aren't counting who's getting it. And though there's a 14-day quarantine for all that arrive into Hawaii, and it's been this way since March or April, it's not applied to the military. And guess what? It's the National Guard military that you meet and greet when you come into the state that is getting your temperature checked. Are they checked? Well, I called the big three here, television stations. You know, they're conglomerates and they share a narrative and they promote the corporate agenda, but they're not really letting locals know what they need to know, and FNN is here to tell you what you need to know. So what I'm going to do is let you hear how each of these television stations responded to my question. Why aren't you counting the numbers of COVID cases coming from the military? Let's start with Hawaii News Now.
Hawaii News Now?
Yes, I'm calling to see why aren't any of the news stations reporting the coronavirus cases on the bases?
I believe we don't always get those numbers.
You know, there's 60 of them, 60 cases in Okinawa. Do you know if any of those people are going to come back through Hawaii?
I'm not sure what is going to be done with the service members who are infected over there.
I think it's a disservice to the public to not let us know how many service cases inside of Hawaii. Y'all always talk about Guam and Atoll Islands, but you never mention here.
I believe it depends on if those numbers are released, and I don't think that we've gotten an updated number from the local bases.
Oh, so they're not releasing numbers?
Not that I'm aware of. The last had not been for a few weeks, maybe a couple months.
That might mean that they have a lot of cases and not releasing them because Trump isn't releasing them either.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I really can't speak to why they may or may not be not sharing that information.
That ain't the topic, because y'all should be finding out. You should be calling and you should be asking and notifying the public because they need to know. I know, right? Right? That girl, her attitude. I'm gonna, no. Your tether was up, honey. And this shows that your station and you follow a corporate line. To actually get mad and to say that you ain't even thinking about looking for those numbers or trying to count those numbers shows where your agenda is. And believe me, that Rick Biology or whatever his name is right along with that. Do you want to marry like that? I don't. I Now, who else? Let's go to KITV. Yes, I would like to know why I never hear any reports of COVID numbers from the military bases.
They do it separately. If you go to, I believe it's on Facebook, they have their.
I'm sorry, they announce it separately, but the newsroom chooses not to announce what they announce?
No. Like, the military has a number separate.
So why is it the newsroom doesn't report what they report separately?
Because it is still counted on the numbers. It's just, it doesn't.
Okay, so there's like 60 cases in Okinawa. Do y'all know if any of those will be sent to Hawaii?
It is something we can look into.
Oh, thanks for looking into it. I appreciate it. Can y'all start like giving the numbers to what's on the bases? Because that kind of eschews the actual number that y'all are reporting.
Okay, I'll send it out to the newsroom and see what we can do about it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of beneficial to the public, you know, because our numbers are probably greater than what they are. And, you know, we always hear about the numbers in Guam, and like Okinawa has 60. We don't know if any of those people are filtering through Hawaii, or how many Hawaii has that are filtering through there.
Okay, that's something we can look into.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Oh, okay,
Bye.
thank you. Bye-bye.
A little bit better. At least she listened. At least she acted like she might care, but she's so young and so naive to what's going down. I don't know why they even allowed her to pick up the phone. You gotta wonder if she ain't playing that famously well-known thing that they do in Hawaii, which is act two-faced. Oh yeah, I will. Okay. As soon as they hang up the phone, they forget about who you are. It's because, you know, I watch the evening news and nobody picked it up. Now, KHON2, the guy gave me a better conversation and acted like they cared, even though their 10 o'clock or their 6 o'clock news didn't show a reflection of that. He did discuss some things. Now let's listen. Yes, I wanted to know why the news stations never report the COVID cases coming from the bases. Don't we have like 4 or 5 bases here?
Yeah, well, we only report what's given to us.
Oh, y'all don't go and seek and find like news reporters used to do?
I mean, we can't go on the base. Wait, hold on a second. Are you blaming us for why we can't find it? It's like, but we get calls all the time of people saying, oh, there's, and then we call, the only people we can talk to about it is the public information officer, and they let us know. In some cases, they have told us, oh, there's 1 or 2, but we get calls all the time. Oh, there's like about 5 or so. But
you don't call them?
No, did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, you're waiting for them to call you.
No, that's not what I said. I said we hear about these cases, and we call them to get a confirmation on it.
Okay, so we always hear about the cases in Guam, Atoll Islands, Cook Islands, and there's 60 cases reported now in Okinawa. Are y'all going to find out if those are going to come through Hawaii, any of those cases?
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Do you know of something very specific, like people are traveling here from Okinawa, or are you asking if
I'm asking if
COVID are coming?
I'm asking if KHON2 is going to find out if any of the people that have COVID that are on the military bases in the Pacific Islands are going to come through Hawaii. And if they do they get the 14-day quarantine the same as us? Are y'all going to find out that information? Because if not, I can find it out and then let you know.
Yeah, we already have that information. Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
If anyone anyone, yes, they go through quarantine. Are you saying if anyone has COVID or anyone?
Yeah, that are on the Pacific Islands and came through Hawaii.
They don't get moved until they don't have COVID anymore.
Okay,
So,
well, that's at least good to know. Yeah.
Right, we do know that. And as far as there's only been a handful of COVID cases on the military bases here in Hawaii.
Okay, because I think that excused the numbers that are actually being presented.
Well, you're right, and we can say that about anything. Almost daily, and especially when someone calls in and says, hey, I think there are a few people who have COVID at Schofield or Hickam or whatever, and then, I'll call to get that confirmed.
Yeah, because it's starting to go around, I go to Walmart, I go to the grocery store, I go yada yada place, and you hear them talking, why they not mentioning them, So.
But I can say that the military has sent out information on COVID cases.
Yeah, but y'all need to start mentioning that because people are talking, yeah? People are talking. Why they don't mention? They must have high numbers. They need a little PR control before rumors spread, yeah?
Yeah, rumors are spreading like crazy everywhere right now.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I think people also need to kind of settle down, too. I mean, it's gotten ridiculous.
Tell me about it.
The fear is becoming bigger than the actual COVID at times.
I'm glad that you say that you're going to report the bases because that's way needed. It helps us skew the account.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for the call.
His excuse was way better. His apology was greater. And you almost think that they're going to do something even though they didn't. And this is the problem. Don't placate me. Don't act like you think you care. Because there's rumors and things going around here. And you know what? The rumors and things going around all across the nation with misinformation. Now, the only way to secure misinformation and get an accurate count, because without, like I said, without the numbers coming in from the bases, the count is askewed. It's not right. And people coming in and off of those bases ought to be checked, ought to be temperatured, and they all should be tested because that's the U.S. government. And you know what they're doing? They're coming and going in and out of this state without telling us. And that might be why some of those numbers are high. Because they're not living on base, a lot of these people. And maybe now it's time they should. It'll help lower the rents, I know that much. And if you agree with me that these 3 TV stations aren't giving us the right numbers, which means neither is EGA or the state, because they're not counting these military bases, which we have 13 of. We have 13 military bases on this island, and all of those 13 need to count their COVID cases and add them to the state. You agree with that? Leave your comments below and let me know at feministnewsn@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to that YouTube channel and the Facebook page. And remember, I'm that Soulful Progressive one on Twitter. Get that rant of the day on Blogger. And I am that one-woman team. That one-woman team that's going to give it to you like it is. Because in this era of hate, you got to participate. Because if you don't count those numbers right, it's only fakery all over the place. I know that's wrong. Now, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Peace.